So I'm going to talk about the past, the beginning of the universe. And I will talk about the formation of the ozone layer depletion, and the Montreal Protocol, which is the treaty that I work for. And then I will talk about the invitation that I want to do to all of you. Actually, this is the first time we are doing this invitation. We are launching this invitation today. Now, let me talk about the formation of the ozone layer. But in order to do that, I want to take a trip with you about the genesis of the universe. And if we are believers, we find in our religious beliefs the certainty that God created the universe, the earth, and all of us. And then that's fantastic. Scientists have been having a hard time trying to explain these beliefs. And then they came up with one of the most accepted theories, which is the theory of the Big Bang. And before the Big Bang, all was darkness, and then the light was created. So the Big Bang, I will use it to describe a compressed history of the universe. This concept as such was first used by an author, Carl Sagan, that came up with this vision of the cosmic calendar. And this cosmic calendar depicts in a compressed manner the history of the universe in 1 year, starting 1st January and ending on 31st December. So the Big Bang happened on 1st January, and then the next thing I want to move you around is May, where the Milky Way galaxy was formed. So it took 5 months of this cosmic calendar after the Big Bang to have the Milky Way. And not only this, by August and September, we had some very important issues. In September, our sun was formed, and soon after the planets and the moons, and as we know them now. On 21st September, we had the appearance of the first life form in October of that year, we had a fantastic event that is called early October, the photosynthesis was really making its way from the oceans. But in October, at the end of October, there was the great oxygenation period in which all those oxygens that were being formed in the sea managed to get out of the sea into the atmosphere because of all the free irons and metal that were in the sea were slowly but surely getting saturated with oxygen, was oxidating. So that oxygenation process, once it saturated the sea, managed to go out, to go into the atmosphere. And then we had, by the end of October, this great oxygenation and the atmosphere as we know it now. Then, November, we had more plants and more animals and humans that happened by the second 2 weeks of December. I would like to draw your attention, to take your attention 1 minute to see this. In these last 2 weeks of December, the ozone layer was formed as we know it now. And then finally, I want to go to the last minutes of the calendar, of the cosmic calendar. In the 24 minutes before the end of of this calendar year, the primitive humans and stone tools emerged. On the 52 last of the 8 last minutes, anatomically modern humans appear. Then let me drive you over the last 60 seconds of the cosmic calendar year. Agriculture as we know it was on the 30 last seconds. 47 seconds, the first writings came abroad. The first dynasty of Egypt and astronomy on the 48 seconds. The alphabet and the wheel as we know it then, 49 seconds. Ancient Olympics on the 53rd second. Ancient Olympics. The Roman Empire and Jesus Christ was born on the 55th, on the last 5 seconds of this calendar, cosmic calendar. And modern science as we know it now, science and technology, the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the World War I and II, the internet, I mean the space ships, the internet, the social networks, the clothes we are having, what you are doing now, what we are doing here, is happening in the last second of this cosmic calendar. So the impact that you human beings can have on Earth is amazing. Amazing. And that's why I was saying that the future is now, here. You're working, we are working for the future generations. Yes, we have a tremendous responsibility, but the future is now here with us. Having said this, well, I talk about the great oxygenation event, but it's just to illustrate here how the production of the ozone layer comes about. Ozone is oxygen, but it's 3 atoms of oxygen makes ozone. But it happens because of the rays of the ultraviolet rays of the sun hit an atom of oxygen divided into 2, and then it combines with another oxygen, and then you have O3. And this is the way it's constantly forming the ozone. It's a natural process. Okay, but then there we have the ozone layer, and this ozone layer is here to protect all of us. It does protect, it's like a shield that protects us from the harmful ozone ultraviolet rays of the sun. This stratospheric ozone layer is between 10 and 50 kilometers up there in the atmosphere. We don't see it. We don't know that it existed. I mean, most of us, our eyes are very limited to see what is happening at the molecular or up there or down there. So we are, as human beings, we need to develop many tools. We need to develop knowledge. We need to develop confidence in our actions to be able to affect positively our planet. But then we have some chill, some help. I mean, we live because we have oxygen, but we also live on this planet because we have the ozone layer. The ozone layer actually facilitated the movement of life from the sea to the Earth. Because before the ozone layer was there, it was impossible to live there because of the harmful rays of the sun. Okay, so we have the ozone layer, and we have humans here on Earth. And we are very inventive. We are always innovating. We are creating new products, new inventions. And by the end of the 19th century, and early in the 20th century, there was a big production of a new gas, a marvelous gas invented, the CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Those were the wonder chemicals. And then they were used to all kinds of, in industry, in electronics, in cars, in refrigeration, air conditioning, in fire extinguishers, all over the place. Those gases were used. And then, according to the cosmic calendar, the ozone layer was formed in the 400 to 600 million years ago. And it took one generation only after the invention of the CFCs, of these gases. It took one generation to realize that we were destroying the ozone layer. And then by the 1970s, scientists around the world started warning that we were destroying the ozone layer. And then all of you must remember that there came the discovery of the ozone hole in the Antarctic. So once the ozone hole came as a well-known fact, it was easier for the international community to act. And this is very interesting. I mean, what to do when you realize that there is a big hole that is affecting and threatening life on Earth? What to do? And then what they did, I mean, the governments of the world, they got together and they agreed this treaty, international treaty, the Montreal Protocol for the Protection of the Ozone Layer. Actually, there are two, Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol. And this treaty, which was agreed by all the governments of the world, is being recognized as one of the most successful treaties to address a global problem. There has many achievements of this treaty. We have governments around the world, all the governments around the world have been achieving many, many great issues. I will invite you to visit our websites to look into those achievements. I don't want to take your time on this, but let me just say a few things. The Montreal Protocol is the only treaty in the history of humankind that has achieved universal ratification. All the governments of the world are working together to protect the ozone layer. All the governments of the world, in an unparalleled, successfully international cooperation, are protecting our ozone layer so that we can continue living our lives. Not only this, because the ozone depleting substances that were used, these CFCs and other ozone depleting substances that were being liberated into the atmosphere, were also potent greenhouse gases. They were also causing climate change. And then when the governments of the world stopped using gradually these CFCs and these ozone depleting substances, we also were achieving climate change gains. So one of the biggest benefits of the Montreal Protocol has been the phase out of greenhouse gases that would otherwise affect it and have us in a much more difficult situation. If you can see, if you can see here, before the 1990s, this was the way we were using ozone-depleting substances. If we would have continued using ozone-depleting substances like this, in this steep slope, we have been like here. And all these gases not only were destroying the ozone layer, but were also producing climate change. This is, because of this, the phase out of this, the use of these gases, we can see in the other graph here a comparison with the Kyoto Protocol for climate change. The Kyoto Protocol, the goal with full compliance is 2 gigatons. And this is the amount of gases that the governments of the world reduce or avoided by eliminating the use of ozone-depleting substances through this curve. This is actually the way that the consumption worldwide of ozone-depleting substances is behaving in this curve, thanks to the efforts of the international community, of all the governments of the world working under the Montreal Protocol. Now, this is just some of the key achievements, but there are many others. Ozone-OSI, that you know, is one of the ways that we have been using to promote the Montreal Protocol. Okay, what is behind these achievements? Please look at it on our website, visit several of our websites, but there are several special treaties, features of the Montreal Protocol.